Good evening, Britannia, and hello to the rest of the world. Welcome back to 2CTV. We are back at our home studio after the last hour or so, obviously being in central London, reporting from what's happening outside the Iranian embassy in Kensington, London. We have some new updates for you guys in regards to the missing Iranian president and the reaction from outside of Iran and, of course, inside of Iran. I'm in touch with our sources inside to give you guys the latest updates and tell you the truth about what exactly is going on, rather than the corporate media, the lamestream media, stealing the narrative and controlling that what you need to know instead of what you actually, well, they think what you need to do instead of actually telling you as it is. I do need to address a couple of things, which I'll do in a second. First things first, the latest update, we have the Iranians are rising up inside Iran across the country. There's obviously security, social special forces are everywhere. The search radius for President Raisi's helicopter is now just 2 square kilometers. This came at the same time as the IRGC announcing that they found the crash site, by the way. So everything is inconsistent in terms of the reporting coming from the Iranian media. Iran International reported this, saying that a few hours ago the radius was about 20 kilometers square, 20 obviously square kilometers, and now it's at just 2. This is obviously about half an hour ago, whenever it was. But the reaction we now have from people inside of Iran and, of course, outside as well is celebrations. They continue the uprising against the Iranian regime, the Islamic occupiers, despite the fact that the special forces and security are across the capital and the main cities. These are the scenes we are seeing from Iran.
همینجوری سر به نیست بشن. امروز 30 اردیبهشت ماه 1403.
Yeah, the guy in the video gave the date to make sure that it's verified that this is the exact date today, the time that the fireworks are happening, because of course the left-wing media are trying to deny these fireworks and everything else. There's also a lot of people saying obviously it will be in the interest of Israel and the pro-freedom Iranians if the Islamic Republic blame Israel, but of course that will be a terrible move, especially if it is actually because of the bad weather or accident or inside job. The Iranian regime should not blame Israel, because they know that it would just give a perfect excuse to the IDF to escalate the situation. But I have to mention one thing. The Western privileged elite are criticizing the Iranians from the ivory towers because the Iranians are celebrating the president's helicopter crash. The Iranian people, who've been oppressed and butchered by this man and the Islamic occupiers for almost 50 years, don't give an S about your fake morality. They hate terrorists. This is self-defense. Celebrating potential death or the downfall of evil and terrorists is allowed. Do you think when Vatican, with the help of other European countries, did the crusade in Spain to kick out the Islamic occupiers in Spain, do you think they negotiated with them? Do you think they said, let's talk about this? Nope. Because the Islamists were destroying the country and the culture in Spain. They butchered them as well. That's how you get rid of evil. In self-defense. Never start a conflict yourself. Never be evil yourself. But in self-defense, you get rid of evil. So all these liberal Western privileged idiots comparing their standards to the ancient cultures, the Persians, the Greeks and the Romans, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea what these people have been going through for decades and decades. They will celebrate the death of Islamists, just like how we celebrated Bin Laden and the death of those guys. Next video from Iran.
جشن گرفتن مردم به مناسبت سقوط رئیسی دارن فشفشه میزنن. به به انشالله به واقعیت تبدیل شه.
Again, the translation was the woman was saying the date, of course, the people are celebrating the downfall, and actually the collapse of course, the helicopter, or of course, the pilot, Eli Copter. It was a Jewish helicopter, of course. So it was the Jews, right? The security forces are apparently going to be implementing martial law around the country. There are a lot of rumors coming from Iran. We have to make sure everything's actually verified. So there is a problem when it comes to the situation with information coming out of Iran. Obviously, anything I get from my sources, I double check with other sources. There's been a lot of rumors, including an announcement of a 3-day official mourning already. But why would they do that when they haven't actually announced that the president has been found dead yet? I'm going to also give you the latest update on the rescue mission, because it's a little bit inconsistent with everything they've been telling us. But let's continue with the videos of the Iranians' fireworks.
پیشاپیش تبریک عرض میکنم.
خب امروز 30 اردیبهشت 1403 و به مناسبت همچین روز زیبایی که واسه رئیس جمهورمون اتفاق افتاده، ما میخوایم این رو روشن کنیم. باشد رؤسای بالاتر.
Yes, again, in those couple of clips, they were saying we are happy, we're celebrating the fall or the collapse of the president's helicopter. But there is also the issue of national security from the Iranian regime's perspective at this point. The commander-in-chief of the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, Hossein Salami, has now arrived over the last hour at the crash site of the president. They've announced that they're there. But the IRGC chief, along with a group of commanders, are investigating the crash site and issuing orders, of course, in terms of search and rescue. You would assume if they had found the crash site and if they had found the survivors, including the president and the foreign minister, they would have immediately announced that they have them. Now, it could be two things. That he's gone, they're gone, or they would be allowing the uncertainty to continue until tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, and then bring him out, the president, somehow injured and alive, saying, he's been resurrected, miracle. And they would use that as a victory, and then there was a rally and all that. So it could be one of those two situations, because if you are at the crash site, you know what the situation is. You know whether he's there or not. You know whether he is alive or not. You know what it is. Of course, if he's dragged himself somewhere to try to save himself, it can't get too far. So by now they know. By now they should know exactly if he's alive or not. So they're either going to use it as a PR stunt, say, look, he's been resurrected, ooh, like Jesus, or he's dead. So we'll find out tomorrow, of course. They will give us, or maybe in the next few minutes, they will let us know. There is also the first update was actually one of the passengers. They just said passenger. So Tasmin News and the actual IRGC announced this. This came from them. A passenger from the helicopter. By the way, there was a short list, of course, and they were all part of the Islamic regime. They said he asked for help. The Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Deputy Foreign Minister basically, saying that the Mr. Al-Hasham, passenger of the helicopter, was contacted twice, and he said that I am not feeling well and I can hear the sound of ambulances. You would assume in this situation, in this message, that person, the so-called passenger, would also give an update on the president's status. Nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. So obviously they're either playing us, or obviously he's dead and they have to take their time to conduct their emergency meetings. They're too busy trying to maintain the stability and security in the country, because of the people are out of control right now. The Iranian people are very happy, and the regime are absolutely panicking. The Islamic occupiers are officially imploding. This to be fair, had nothing to do with the actual crash itself, whether an accident or not. Raisi, the president, and his cabal were plotting against the supreme leader anyway. The son of the supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, was already also getting ready to replace his dad. Obviously, to be the successor. His dad, the supreme leader, is 85 years old. There are different groups who are preparing for the conflict at the top to get the throne. That was already imploding anyway. And this is just going to create a worse situation for the Iranian regime. And the Iranian people who've been patient with their uprising over the last couple of years, they are essentially going to be waiting for that to happen, the instability to finish the job. Of course, they've been sending a lot of messages from Iran saying, get the IDF to bomb Iran so that we could finish the job. They want Israel to hit the Iranian regime so they could weaken the regime so the Iranian people could finish the job. They don't trust the Americans. They don't trust the Western globalists or the Brits. They don't want to be liberated by the West. They simply want some support so that they could finish the job themselves. And they can't do it on their own because they're not armed, apart from the Kurds and some people in the eastern region and western region. So all this is going on while they, as I said, the Western liberal, privileged, middle-class, spoiled idiots lecturing the Iranians of the decades of being oppressed, of how they should react to their president's helicopter crashing. They consider the Islamic occupiers as terrorists and evil. It is self-defense. And I can assure you, while the Iranian people are craving for a liberal secular democracy, they want their country back, they want their constitution back, constitutional monarchy, parliamentary democracy that they had, I can assure you, these are the ancient cultures that you're dealing with. The Persians, the Greeks, the Romans. While they want civility, they want to move away from barbarism. When the time comes, when the regime is falling, they would go and target every single IRGC member. They would destroy their lives. Yes, you can sit here in London, in Paris, in New York, in Canada, everywhere, in Italy, in France, lecture the Iranians on civility, on your using your fake morality. They would do what is needed to defend themselves and to free their country. And I want British patriots, English patriots in this country to have the same mentality about their country here. I would die for this country. I would die for this kingdom, our United Kingdom. I would defend this country till my last breath. And if more people had the same belief, we could have a chance in protecting our values. But where is everybody? Burying their heads in the sand. That's what they're doing. Right. We also have an update from Rafah. While this is happening, of course, in northern Gaza, one of the Iranian sites was set on fire. Reports out of Rafah also suggest that Israel has just eliminated Hamas commander, police commander. We do have a short video coming from Rafah on that issue.
هذا المشهد من مدينة رفح الآن من حي تل السلطان تحديدا، هذه المنطقة التي قالت إسرائيل أنها آمنة، حيث استهدفت الطائرات الحربية الإسرائيلية في هذا المكان منزلا يعود لعائلة خفاجة وسط مخيمات نازحين ومنازل يقيم فيها آمنين. في هذا المكان يتم البحث ومحاولة انتشال آمنين مفقودين تحت هذا الركام. عشرات من الإصابات وبعض من جثامين الشهداء تم انتشالها، فيما يتم البحث عن عدد آخر مفقود أيضا تحت ركام هذا المنزل الذي دمرته إسرائيل وقصفته دون سابق إنذار.
Another one bites the dust. Another Islamist in Rafah in Gaza has been eliminated and been sent to meet his 72 goat virgins. Now, I'm going to go to the super chats, by the way. Don't worry, I'll get your reaction as well. There's the latest video we just received from the crash site in Iran. The rescue mission continues. The rain, the weather is terrible there, fog and rain, has turned into snow. I'm not even joking. It's actually turned to snow for some reason. In Iran. In May. Watch this.
توقف شده. الان همکاران ما این گزارش رو تهیه کردن میفرستن. البته کار بسیار سخته. الان تصاویر رو مخاطبین محترم میتونن ببینن که چگونه گروه‌های امداد در حالی که شب هست بارندگی شدید وجود داره هوا به
Absolute mayhem in near the Azerbaijan province in the northwest. It's a bit of a mess. The whole thing turned to snow, which of course are those who would go with their prophecy. They're like, well, this is just some sort of miracle, a counter miracle essentially. Of course, that region does get cold, but it is May. I don't know what's going on. Greta Thunberg lied about global warming. I'm still waiting for it. Apparently the weather's getting colder instead of getting warmer. That's a joke. So let's get some of your reaction as well, while we wait for the president to be resurrected somehow. To the tower says a few bob just for support. Thank you very much. Super sticker from Dynamite Laserbeam, and also Music and Fiction says the GCC likely did it. The Mullahs are next. Well, we'll find out. ASA says 1 minute of silence for the poor helicopter, the Jewish helicopter. And Navid, thank you for your support as well. And Mel B from America saying, I hope you don't mind that I share your YouTube videos on my social media. Yours is the only media. And that's what I want. I need you guys to share these videos, of course. Thank you, Mel. So Nigel Farage says, if he hasn't turned up yet, chances are that he isn't alive. Well, let's go back to what we just said a couple of minutes ago. One of the passengers of the helicopter allegedly contacted the regime, the authorities, and said, I'm not feeling too well. Didn't say anything about the status of the president, but he wasn't feeling too well. So this was a proper crash. Proper injured. And in that weather, that snow, that mess, and dark, if you're hurt, it's very difficult for you to survive, especially if they can't find him for the next day or two. They probably found him dead. I don't know. They might be alive. I don't really know. We'll find out. They whatever they tell us is probably a lie. And there were some idiots as well who've been going around the liberal media and even the trolls in the live chat saying, how dare you celebrate the death of innocent people? Innocent people. The list of people who were on that helicopter, we named them in the last live stream, and their titles. Every single one of those people are barbaric creatures, Islamic occupiers, part of the regime. No innocent person on that helicopter. Absolutely no human on that helicopter. So, shut the F up and get on with your life. So, the first Evil 100 also says thank you for the support. So Maya, while it seems that the West is so stupid by not waking up to the threat of Islam, I like to ask, what if the West does wake up? Would the evil Islamists that in our home countries run or stay to get power? It really depends what sort of fight back we're talking about. If we're talking about the like what happened in Spain and other places, that's different. But all you need is, you definitely need what they call themselves the more Western, moderate, cultural Muslims. They need to come out. If they want to be like Western moderate and they are culturally Muslim, they need to come out and speak out. They need to join the patriot side. If they're in Britain, they need to be British. If they're in America, they need to be American. They have to do it. It's the only way to fight against the extremists. Otherwise, there's going to be expulsion or there's going to be civil war. It's no happy ending. And anybody watching this right now from the Foreign Office, and I know people in the Cabinet Office watch this channel all the time. If anybody watching link to MI5, MI6 thinking, whoa, this is dangerous, what is Maya Teacher talking about? This is the reality of our future. They're not going to integrate. It's not going to happen. They have one goal. And we need those so-called moderate cultural Muslims who just can't leave the religion because, don't blame them. They can't leave the religion. They get into trouble if they leave the religion. But they could just be cultural Muslims and just live like normal people. You need them. Otherwise, everybody will be a category. And we don't need that. We don't need more chaos. We need unity. We need peace. But you need to fight back and defend your countries. Whether you're French, German, Italian, British, Canadian, American, wherever you are, Australian. Peter Green says, Mr. Fafo, if a random find out, will take over. It's the only job he hasn't had. That is actually true. He has also not been a pilot as well. He could do that. If you don't know Mr. Fafo, you need to Google that. Aaron Bacon's assumptions are the mother of all F-ups. Facts. True that. Absolutely. True story. Sandra says, love your shows, Maya. If I was 40 years younger, I would marry you. Thank you. Another one says, keep up the great work, Maya. You're the news that we can really trust. Thank you. I appreciate this. And Paul Lord is back saying, is it just me, but are the protesters getting smellier by the week? Yep. Well, it's the summertime now, so it's going to get warmer. When some walked past yesterday's counter-protest, it was like driving past cow sheds. They don't use deodorants. That's the problem. They're not allowed. If I was 40 years younger, I wouldn't marry you. Well, that's nice, isn't it? CJJ, $100 super chat from CJJ. Thank you so much. So unnecessary, but thank you very much for the support. Big shout out to CJJ. And Aaron is back as well, saying WF weather modifications backfire or act of God. I know, right? It's one of those two. Peter Green says, I'm not religious, but it looks like God's got it in for him. I know, right? It's like the Noah story, but slightly more localized. You know, the whole flood was very big with Noah. This was just more localized. It turned rain into snow in the middle of May. I don't know what's going on there. It's like Dubai with the flood. Barbara, thank you for your super chat, Barbara Davis, saying, I love it when you get so passionate. Tell the trolls to all F off. I try. Nancy Treasure says, this is historic. Freedom for Iran since the 1970s of tyranny. All in this crash are bloody murderers. Exactly. They're literally the president, and his nickname was Butcher because he was one of the senior Supreme Court judges at the beginning of the Islamic occupation in the 80s. And he literally is responsible for the execution of thousands of innocent Iranians. Weather is an Old Testament way of God punished. Do not mess with God. that helps. Just in case, you know, it's just not worth it. Lisa says, I personally think there's something fishy going on. Definitely, because none of it makes sense in a sense that they say they are at the crash site. They also said one of the passengers contacted saying, I'm not feeling well. No update on the status of the president. So, I mean, as I said, obviously either dead or they're going to basically make it a surprise announcement, bring him on stage like a rock star, saying, resurrected, holy day, bank holiday for everybody. They might do that. There is a bit of a challenging situation currently for the rescuers, the Red Crescent people. Let me just quickly give you guys an update. This is thanks to Mario. The actual IRGC themselves have posted this news update. By the way, I am absolutely shattered. By the way, sorry if I'm lagging or something. It's been a long day. It's been too much. So this is the latest image we have from the crash site or around it, and the IRGC themselves. Thank you, Mario, for this challenging rescue operations for President's helicopter crash in the remote and mountainous region, where obviously the President's helicopter is crashing is missing. They are facing challenges. The snow is now going crazy. According to reports from Tasnim, of course, the Iranians, communication has been completely cut off in the area, including telecommunication, radio and telephone services, complicating the coordination efforts. Rescuers are searching on foot under difficult conditions due to the terrain, which is obviously inaccessible by cars or motorbikes. The military has deployed a significant number of forces to the site, conducting a thorough search operations according to the directives. The lack of communication is, of course, a big issue right now for the Islamic occupiers, and at the same time, they have deployed their, of course, special forces and security to the capital to stop any uprising, and they've also sent half of them to the crash site, and it doesn't really help the situation. It's basically having like two chefs and just trying to cook something, and it's a bit of a mess. Just because you have more people, it doesn't mean that there's going to be any sort of efficiency in terms of the operation. What is going on with this? Some idiot saying that's a fake picture. That was a city backdrop. Look at the light pollution. Also, weather not even close. You do realize, if this is a lie, that means the Iranian regime are lying, because the footage are from the Iranian media. Considering the Iranian media are doing it live, literally on live TV. You can actually go on YouTube as well, and their own websites. Just Google Iranian TV live. They are showing the same footage live right there. And if it's fake or green screen, they are doing it, not me. So use your brain. I'm blaming the education system and bad parenting. If you have mommy and dad issues, I'm not your therapist. Go deal with your own problems instead of your conspiracy theories. So Next super chat, thank you, The Secret Vault, saying, what are the odds that the Ayatollah offered the president, off the president? It's all so much like Game of Thrones. Well, it is like Game of Thrones because all the different sections of the regime have been trying to plot against each other. Everyone's ready for the supreme leader to die. He's had cancer for about 200 years and he is still fine. He's 85 years old. And but they are getting ready. The Raisi, the president, has been working with his team to plot. The son of the supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, has also been plotting to make sure he is the successor to take the throne. It would not be a surprise. I don't think, I mean, this could be an accident in the actual weather, but there was always going to be some sort of plot against the president or from the president's side against the supreme leader. Or maybe they use the excuse of they check the weather saying, well, he's flying there today, the weather's bad, we'll make it look like an accident and blame it on the weather conditions. So that's also highly likely. They've done this sort of nonsense before. Seek the Truth from Australia says, Maya, have you seen the adventures of the Sheikh? No, most recent video. I suggest you do. One of the best aimed areas of Islam I've ever seen. I haven't, unfortunately. I'll check it out. Mel B is back saying that with all of the anti-Semitism and hatred, chaos and disruptions, we felt it necessary to obtain our license to obtain arms and other protection. Lord Mohan, thank you for the super chat. Another one from Australia. What's the chance that they have just gone into hiding? I mean, again, this is just speculation, so don't take my word for this. You just ask my opinion, so I'm just going to give my biased opinion. If it was a hit or an attempt hit, it will be likely that the president will be like, uh-oh, the supreme leader, they tried to kill me, and I'm going to have to get into hiding. That's the only scenario I could see that, because they have done hits against each other, all these sides anyway. It's not concrete evidence. Billy, thank you for the super chat. And another one, have you got any pictures of the snow? Well, the video we showed you guys. Actually, I'm going to find more as well to help you guys. Let's quickly go to the video, but the actual report from the Iranian media confirmed the snow. And I'm pretty sure we can check the weather app things to check near Tabriz to see the snow. This is it.
توقف شده. الان همکاران ما این گزارش رو تهیه کردن میفرستن. البته کار بسیار سخته. الان تصاویر رو مخاطبین محترم میتونن ببینن که چگونه گروه‌های امداد در حالی که شب هست بارندگی.
So we also have the pro-Iranian regime people posting the same things. Obviously, the live TV in Iran was talking about the snow, but even this nutter, the Syrian girl, who's basically pro-Iranian regime, said snow falling now as rescue crew try to get to the Iran's president's helicopter. I'm going to find more examples. Even Soleiman Ahmad, the other nutter, has been posting about the snow. The IRGC, there we go. We actually have the actual official statement from the IRGC as well. I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys. Everything we put would be verified, of course. The IRGC have said they are investigating the general area of the incident step by step. The region has a very cold, rainy and foggy climate. The rain is gradually turning into snow. This was about an hour ago. That's the situation with the snow. This is just the beginning, by the way, in terms of the domino effect against the Islamic occupiers. They're imploding. This is just a bad situation for them. David says, would the president's death change anything in Iran? So only, not constitutionally in that sense, not democratically, not in that sense, but it would cause the division at the top. So they will try to contain the situation, but the Iranian people could do the uprising again to come out. They will probably fail again unless they have support, because the Iranians are not armed. That's the problem. Unless they have a support of IDF, for example, then they could do something. If the death, well, potential death, allegedly, results in the actual infighting at the top of the regime, because they are going to try to find a way, because they had the emergency meetings all night in Iran about that. And I'm pretty sure they are trying to sort it out. They're trying to say, well, whatever happened, and whatever the reason was, the death itself, accident or not accident, we have to find a way. The Iranian regime would say, the Supreme Leader's office would say, we have to find a way to maintain stability. So if we have anyone doing infighting, just get rid of them now. Make sure we have one winner, the Supreme Leader. because to the outside world, we have to tell them we are stable. So the Iranian people protesting and the Americans and the Israelis and everybody else. So that they will try their best to create a fake stability. Otherwise, if they can't do that tomorrow, if the Supreme Leader of it can't do that and is dead, and his people, the team president and Raisi, the butcher, try to basically blame it on the Iranian regime, the Supreme Leader's office, not publicly, but internally, that will cause the actual internal infighting. The Iranian people will know. You and I might not know. CNN might not know. BBC might not know. I mean, they would know, but they wouldn't report it. But the Iranian people know. They know. The pulse, the Iranian people, they know. They can feel it in the air. If they know the regime is getting weak or divided, they're going to get out there and finish the job. It's very easy to say. It's difficult to actually even picture it, but it's the only way to have an ending. But there's not going to be any change constitutionally, because they're just going to have the vice president and they're going to have a fake election in 50 days and then replace him with somebody else, some other idiot. But it's not really just about the president, because there are other people on board. The foreign minister, he was more important than the president, because the president is a puppet of the supreme leader. But the foreign minister is a spokesperson for foreign affairs, obviously. He's the one who goes out to Lebanon, to Yemen, to all these countries, to Syria, to negotiate, to make deals. His role is very more important than the president at this point. So they're all going. If they're all dead, and it's bad news for the Islamic occupiers. Aaron says, someone told me that the EU are helping look for the chopper. So the confirmation we have is that Erdogan has sent the Turks to help and Putin has sent the Russians to help. I have not myself received any update from the European Union sending anybody to help. So I know about the Turks and the Russians, but we don't know about the European Union. There is a... Yeah, so this is again the quick updates about what's going on the streets in Iran and in Tehran, the capital. I am exhausted and I'm absolutely starving. It's been a long day. So I'm just going to keep going. Make sure you guys know everything. This is the latest update from Iran. Right. The Islamic regime in Iran is starting to bring out, of course, as you guys already know, their forces onto the streets. The riot police spotted in Tehran in this video. I'm going to show you the video. And in Rasht, which is in the north. Some believe that they will be used to quell celebrations if President Raisi's death will be announced in the morning. So all the celebrations I've showed you guys, that's nothing. That's just tiny. If it's actually dead and if they announce it, they're going to go crazy, the Iranian people. Let's go to the video.
وضعیت خیابونای رشت بسیار امنیتی شده بعد خبر هلیکوپتر آقای رئیسی.
So yeah, the translation was that video was actually from Rasht, which is from the north of Iran. The essentially is martial law. It's emergency social special forces are out on the streets to make sure there's no protest, any uprising or any celebrations. But they are going to be keep an eye on tomorrow morning. I believe, let's just say hypothetically, speculations, he's dead. That's why they haven't announced it, because they have to have also a meeting now about his death, because they have to know how they announce it and when they announce it, because they know if they announce it tomorrow morning, people are going to come on the streets. So they have to make sure they have enough manpower in Tehran, in Rasht, in Mashhad, in Isfahan, in Shiraz, all the cities, in Tabriz. They have to make sure they have enough manpower tomorrow before they announce the death, if he is dead, right? He could just be injured, he could just be crawling somewhere. But if he's dead, they have to make sure everybody's back to the cities, all the IRGC minions. Everyone go back to Tehran, Mashhad and all the places, stay on the streets, then announce it so that they could do a crackdown if anybody comes out to protest or celebrate. Just double check the latest update in case we missed anything. The Red Crescent, or the Red Cross basically, are still saying that they find it difficult in terms of the search conditions. The head of the search operation has stated the adverse weather conditions and snow are impeding the search and rescue operations for the president's helicopter. It makes no sense. They literally said an hour ago, and we already reported that they found the crash site. Now they're saying they're still looking for it. They don't. I don't know what's going on. It's annoying. What's going on here? There is okay. No, I thought they announced something. They haven't actually. Eyewitness report from the helicopter crash site. Okay, so obviously a pinch of salt. Eyewitness, but this is actually from the Pastar and Cybercorp. This is the IRGC account. Eyewitness. Let's see what the eyewitness says. An eyewitness near the site of the recent helicopter accident reported to a critical moment to a local Telegram channel of IRGC. The resident described seeing the helicopter attempting to land between the villages of Kalajan and Anoig when it became obscured by fog, then crashed. Sorry about this. I need to get water. Give me a sec. Right, sorry about that. Then they said, remarkably, the helicopters propeller continued to operate after the crash. This account adds to the ongoing investigation. So they're basically saying it was still working after the crash. Sorry about this. It's been a long day. Throat is killing me. Right. What's going on? His last words, kiss me, Tusi. Imagine. Iran can have Obama, Biden, or Clinton's. That's the dream. Someone said, dude, drink. And I'm trying. Choked with grief. I know, right? So sad. Such sad news. Make it a vodka, double vodka. I can't. Water's fine. Also, I love how this was the first glass I could find near me. It's a wine glass. Have water in wine glass. I think that's treasonous. Go to sleep. He's dead, I promise you. I hope so, but you know, I have to stay up to make sure I get the latest update. So it's going to be a long night, but I'll make sure I bring you guys the latest update immediately. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all the support. Let me just double check all the super chats. Lord Moen says, go grab a burger or something. I am a new viewer to your channel. I tip my hat to you, sir, for all your reporting. Thank you so much, sir. Aaron says, celebrate with a midnight bacon or sausage. Oh, yes. Susan, thank you so much for your super sticker. And CSC says, snow in May, communication breaks down. How much more proof do you need of God's power? All enemies of all the Jews, think about it. God will judge you. Yeah, so I think that's the latest I have from you guys. Just want to say, Matthew, thank you again. I'm going to do a plug now because it's shameless. I'm shameless. Quick updates on 2CTV Plus. 2c.tv. Join us if you haven't already to get all the premium content, but also you will help us stay independent and fight against the mainstream media. You get access to all the shows. The annual subscription option is now activated. It's back. So a lot of you didn't want to do the £5 membership monthly. You want to do one-off payment, and you get a discount as well, and you get a phone call from me. If you do the annual subscription option, you get a welcome phone call from me. The link is in the description, or just go on 2c.tv. Register, join 2CTV Plus, get access to all the shows, get a call from me, and join us and help us stay independent and fight against the mainstream media. This is the only way we're going to do it. None of the money is actually going to me, because I've lost everything by investing into the whole project anyway. But it's about funding obviously the salaries of the staff, everybody who's helping us, the whole team, but of course investing in the future of new media and our new media revolution. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your patience and your support. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.